So what do you do when a narcissist disappears on you constantly, or one time for one big disappearance, one big ghosting? What should you do? How should you, as a survivor or a thriver or a victim of narcissistic abuse, how should you handle that? That's what we're talking about today, y'all. If you're new here, my name is Hammock. I'm a clinically diagnosed narcissist, and welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code, where I give you an inside look at the mind of a narcissist. Let's clear this up right here. If a narcissist, and this is my true thoughts right here, y'all. I'm going to keep it, we starting off with a rant bubble. Narcissistic people, if anybody ghosts you, if anybody disappears on you, especially if y'all are just getting to know each other, let them remain Casper. If they ghost you in the beginning, let them remain Casper. Please, for your own sanity, for your own mental and sometimes your physical health, literally let that person remain Casper. Yeah, there's not unless they got shipped off to some armed services or something like that, to the military, to the Navy, a clandestine mission in the Marines. Those could be some valid excuses, right? To me, it's very difficult to just have an authentic reason to disappear on somebody with no warning, right? Unless you're trying to be, now, if you're a survivor, it's different. If you're surviving somebody and they're being abusive, that's a reason to dip, right? I believe that's a reason that's an active reason you should be able to dip on somebody. If you're trying to survive them, if they're a danger to you personally, I think that you should be able to dip on that person, right? Otherwise, in these scenarios, in these situations, I think that if you're not being abusive to them, and you're being as kind, as caring, and gentle as you can be, and they disappear on you, let them remain Casper. Let them remain a ghost in your past. Especially if you don't have any ties to this person. If y'all are not tied down together, if y'all don't have kids or businesses or cars or whatever, if you don't have those things with this person, let that person remain Casper. I promise you, you will not regret it. There's y'all could prove me wrong. If you can prove me wrong here, please prove me wrong. I have yet to hear of a situation where a person was ghosted in the beginning of a relationship, or that person disappeared on you. Then they came back and y'all live happily ever after. I have yet to hear that story. I'm sure it exists. But if you follow me, chances are that might not have happened for you, right? I'm sure it exists out there in the universe or in the ether somewhere. I'm pretty positive that exists. I'm almost certain that exists somewhere, y'all. But it hasn't happened for you, right? And it's a rarity. So if somebody disappears on you when you're just getting to know them, or you're happy, it's 2-3 months in, you're happy, and all of a sudden they stop messaging you. No more calls. Or they blocked you. You blocked out of nowhere. You're like, damn, they blocked me. What I do? No reason, nothing. And then they try to come back later on, y'all, with some bullshit ass excuse. Please don't let them back in your life. I'm sorry, Tom. I was afraid. We were getting too close, and I was too in love with you, and I decided to dip out on you and didn't message you back. I was scared. It's nothing you did wrong. I was just scared. What's stopping them from being scared again? Scared. I was so scared. What's stopping them from being scared again? Go. I'm serious. I hear too many of these stories where, like, well, I let them back in my life and they treated me horribly again. Yeah, because they think it's okay to come in and out of your life. So if you're dealing with a narcissistic person and they disappear on you, let them remain Casper. And even if y'all have been in a relationship for a while and you're not tied down to this person, y'all don't live together, there's no kids, there's no property, no businesses, no nothing. The only tie to them is your heart and possibly a trauma bond. You still have to have the power to not to let them back in your space. If y'all have been together, I've heard these stories before, y'all. When I'm doing my one-on-one coaching over Zoom or in my support groups, all available at mentalhealness.net. When I'm doing those coaching sessions or the support groups or whatever, and people tell me that we were dating for a year and a half, and all of a sudden they just ghosted me. They disappeared on me. And I just now they're trying to come back, Lee. What should I do? What should you do? You should block their asses. You should disappear on them like they did you. But they're being so persistently, they promised me that it won't happen again. They was afraid. They're blaming me for ghosting them. For them ghosting me, for them disappearing on me. I look, what fail safes are in place right now to stop them from doing it again. What's stopping them from doing it again? They promised that they wouldn't do it again. You have a scout's honor or an IOU or something like that. Unless they were willing to put down a deposit of $500,000 for wasting your time. Like, I need you to sign this contract for $500,000. If you ghost me or you break up with me again, you waste my time, I get $500K. I still wouldn't do it for the end. You gotta give me some we gotta crack some millies. Crack some millies for my time. My time is valuable. My time is exquisite. Seriously. That's what I'm just saying. If you let them ghost you and come back into your life, if they disappear on you, you have to find the power and the strength to not let them come back. Because typically when a narcissist is ghosting you or disappearing on you, there's typically, the Greek god of maybe, there's typically someone else in the picture. They have a new supply, or you are the new supply. They're cheating with you. They already have a ready-made family and they're cheating with you. You're the side piece. You might not even realize it. I've talked to so many people that didn't realize that they were the side piece until they discovered it later on. Literally. I do my one-on-ones over Zoom. I talked to a woman that was, her partner, right, was working in, I think, Georgia. She lived in Georgia. He was working in Georgia. And he had to go to North Carolina every other weekend, every weekend to get his kids or to spend time with his kids. That was his goal. He was living in Georgia 5 days a week, go home. And they were living together. They had an apartment together. One day she was at home, right? And she got a package with a different name on it. She's like, who the hell name is this? He blowing her phone up. It's like, there's an Amazon package coming. Just leave it outside. I don't know who it is. Just ignore it. I'm going to get it to send it back. She's like, okay. She looked the name up on Facebook. It's him. He done gave her a fake name. Like, she realized that she was the only one on the lease. He never signed anything to live there. She was the only one on the lease. He used a fake name to live with her. His real name was on the Amazon package. He meant to send it to his real house, but he sent it to her house with him. I don't know how he did it, but then she found out that she was a side piece. He was married. He worked in Georgia, but he was driving back and forth to North Carolina to spend time with his actual family. And then she drove to North Carolina to shock him and surprise him. And of course, the wife stayed. He had a whole new apartment living with a woman in Georgia, and the wife stayed. And she disappeared. She tried to call him. She's like, trying to call him to cuss him out or whatever. And he disappeared. He ghosted her because he knew he was busted. So sometimes you are the side piece. You don't need, he ghosted her after he had got exposed. So that's a reason that he disappeared for a reason. But you see how that happens right there. Sometimes you are the side piece. Sometimes when they're ghosting you, they're just going back home. They're just going back to their house. When they disappear on you, they're going back to their real life. Or they started a new life with somebody else and they don't want you to know about it. So they ghost you and don't want you exposing them to whoever else they're talking to. They don't want any ties to you. And yeah, I've heard these ghosting situations. So some of these ghosting situations or disappearing situations can get super dark. I've had people say their husbands or their wives have ghosted them. Like, Lee, my wife ghosted me. I'm talking to dudes one-on-one. It's like, my wife ghosted me. She just didn't come home one day. Found out she had moved to a whole different state with a different man, and try to think that we were going to stay married, even though she had abandoned the house and moved in with somebody else. Everything was in my name, so she felt like she could just disappear. We didn't have any kids. She felt like she can just disappear, and she did. She disappeared, popped up with somebody else a couple months later in a whole new state. And the only reason he found out was because her family told him. Her family thought that she was doing him wrong. So her family told her, he's like, man, stop looking for her. She done did some evil ass shit. She up here. Stop looking for her. And then all of a sudden he sent divorce papers to her to sign, and she refused to sign the divorce papers. She disappeared on him. She refused to sign the divorce papers. And then she started trying to come back to him. She's like, you know what? Let's just work it out. I'm going to come back. We're going to work it out. I can't believe I did this. I'm so sorry. And I haven't heard from him since. So if you're watching this, man, I hope you did not take her back after that. I hope you broke that trauma bond. You did not take her back after that right there. Because sometimes after they disappear on you and they come back into your life, they're just trying to buy time to find another way to disappear, to find a more efficient way to disappear, to find a better way to disappear. So if a narcissist disappears on you, y'all, you have to let them remain, Casper. You really do. You have to let them go. Like Elsa from Frozen. You got to let them go. Can't hold them back anymore. Because if you let them come back into your life, I promise you, I'm not trying to hammer away at you, be mean. I promise you, if you let them back into your life, they will find a way to hurt you. They will find a way to do some harm to you. They will find a way to effectively waste your time, your effort, your energy, and do much, much harm to you. Narcissistic people are damn near evil. They really are. Some of them are evil when they do this disappearing stuff because they realistically don't care about the effect it's going to have on you. They're just trying to find a way to benefit themselves and not care about the results of what they've done. So you have to protect yourself. You have to stay as strong as you possibly can. You have to empower yourself as well on this journey, y'all. Anyways, y'all, if you made it this far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I have a coaching call. That's why I look it over here. Y'all watching the time. I have a coaching call. I got to hop on right now for Zoom. Those are still available at mentalhealness.net. If you want to do a coaching call, enter the code MENTAL10 for 10% off. Click one of these on the screen right here to watch another video, and I'm out. Peace.